Despite the pilot for Has Been Hotel coming out before the pilot for Helluva Boss, the first Helluva Boss episode came out first, and I'm here to review it today. A lot of people already talked about the other pilot that Divisive released, but I didn't really care about it. Forgot what it was called. I think it was called Zoophilia or something. But I'm not really into that whole furry degenerate stuff. Instead, I'm going to talk about Helluva Boss, which has a wolf that I really want to bang. Now, this wouldn't be a 90s movie if it didn't— whoa, hang on. I'm looking at my Pippi script again. Now, this wouldn't be a 2010s movie if it didn't open with a song.
You love to do our homework, and we love our teacher too.
Then when I throw out these fun questions, you should know just what to do.
Okay.
2 + 6 is 8, and good behavior is. And it's now that part of the class when we say the time of day and date.
Oh no, wait, that's my Lorex script. Here's my Helluva Boss script. Now, this wouldn't be an original animated YouTube series if it didn't open with a song.
Now, I forgot it's my husband's birthday. I didn't get him anything special.
Maybe if we call him, we could do a happy birthday surprise.
Okay. Oh yeah,
I
right there.
told you, we're not gonna use things.
Right there. Oh yeah,
That's
right,
actually my
right
asshole.
Oh no, your husband is cheating on you? That's terrible. Why not sleep with one of your students to get back at him? Don't worry, the legal ramifications, just like the person you're sleeping with, will be minor.
It's the kindergarten teacher, Miss Stevenson.
The blonde?
Yeah.
Some young boys having sex with Miss Stevenson?
Yes.
Nice.
Okay. Oh shit, sweetie, what are you doing here?
Shut up, Gerald! You scream like a fish.
The teacher, after her death, contacts Blitz so he can kill the person her husband slept with. The person she failed to kill. And because she survived a murder attempt, she's now being treated like a hero.
You're a hero!
You're a hero, girl.
My mama's a hero.
He is a hero!
Yeah, I always found that kind of dumb. If you survive a murder attempt, you're not a hero. You're a survivor. Someone who puts themselves in harm's way to save someone else is a hero, not the person they're saving. And the false narrative that this woman was a hero was spread by VNN News. I would make a fake news joke, but you already made it.
Anyway, I don't think you quite understand how we're operating down here. See, we take revenge out on the living, and it sounds like the core cast of your sitcom of a death, frankly, are all probably down here in hell with you.
Yeah, I brought this up when I reviewed the pilot. If you put out a hit on someone, they're going to end up in hell with you, and they're going to try to kill you in hell, because that's how the rules in this universe works. I just hope they address this issue in a future episode.
Moxie, stop shaking! You're gonna shoot our only hail ham. Wow, I feel so loved here.
Oh wow, Millie has a new voice actress. And unlike the last one, who only had a southern accent sometimes, she has a southern accent all the time. Which can only mean one thing. The people who made this episode saw my review of the pilot, and they took my suggestion. I take full credit for this.
Exactly! Humans are full of secret nasties. It's why so many of them end up here.
The way Millie words this kind of makes it sound like her and her husband Moxie were born in hell and they weren't humans before they ended up where they are now. Currently, my headcanon is that the 3 imps were born in hell and Luna used to be a human.
Bye, and don't worry, we'll get that skank in less than 24 hours or your first kill is free!
When did we start implementing that deal?
When you set fire to my office in front of a client, you fucking dipshit! Now someone please tell me that fancy book is still intact!
You mean our only ticket to the other side? Yeah, got it.
And that's why you're my favorite, Looney.
And Luna is my favorite as well. By the way, the billboard in the background is absolutely hilarious. Hang on a second. In the pilot episode, Moxie said they couldn't afford a billboard. This is such a disturbing continuity error. I sure hope someone was fired for that blunder.
That's gotta be her. This is too easy. Moxie, do you want this one?
Me?
Yeah, this one's simple enough for you to handle. It's just a happy mother who just got out of the hospital.
So at this point, I rolled my eyes because I knew exactly what was going to happen. Blitz was going to try to kill the mom, and Moxie was going to do whatever he could to save her. But because of his efforts, the entire family was going to die. Now, in a way, that kind of happens, but I definitely did not see this coming.
I don't know, Martha, but whatever it is, there's gonna be tomorrow night's dinner.
All right, kids, guns out!
If you look in the background, you can see a guy's head on a plaque, a guy's arm sticking out of a refrigerator, a lamp with a pelvis bones, a bunch of spines, and human flesh for the shade. Oh yeah, you can also see a vase with a wheelchair at the table. I'm assuming it's one of the children's ashes. Oh man, that's the best rape face since the Tom and Jerry movie.
Damn it. Stolas, this is a really bad time.
When isn't it a bad time, Blitzy?
What is it?
I've been meaning to follow up on our last little conversation regarding my grimoire.
What did you just call me?
My book, Blitzy. The book I was given to do my job that I have allowed you to use to do yours. Anywho, I have been thinking. You know, I have been permitting you to access the mortal realm less than legally for some time now, but I do need it back to fulfill my duties.
I am definitely curious where this plot point is going. I think the season finale of Helluva Boss is going to have something to do with Soulless. I have no idea what it is yet, but maybe in episode 2 I'll have somewhat of an idea.
Oh, Blitz, I'm so excited. I cannot wait to feel your slimy inside of my
Towards the end of the episode, when Moxie is returning to the house, you can still hear Soulless on the phone talking. This episode also reveals that the imps are immune to fire, and yeah, the entire family does die. And now we are moving on to episode 2. Hell yes, Helluva Boss episode 2 is even longer, which means I have even more to talk about. Now this episode, unlike the last one, takes place entirely in hell. They don't go to the human world one single time. And I actually really like that. It's only episode 2 and there's already a change of scenery.
Mommy, Daddy!
Via's calling us, Stella.
Okay, what's the opposite of a nitpick? A small praise, I guess? Well, I want to make a small praise. I really like it how Soulless opens his eyes. Because he has 4 of them, he's going to open his eyes in a different way than if he had, well, 2 eyes. Now don't worry, I'm not going to pause every 5 seconds to give small praises here and there. I just really love the attention to detail they gave this scene.
Via, what troubles you, my owlet?
Daddy! Daddy! I had a dream. A really bad dream. I couldn't find you anywhere. You weren't there.
There, Via, it's okay. You're okay.
Okay, so remember that video where I talked about the Has-Been Hotel fan base and I said it might become toxic? And I was complaining about the fans who make Charlie's dad out to be a good father when he isn't? Well, now we see that Soulless is a good dad, so start making fan art of him with his daughter instead! We also get a really amazing song sung by Soulless.
As the stars start to align, I hope you take it as a sign that you'll be okay. Everything will be okay.
It's incredible that Busy Pop can make a new song every episode, sometimes even several new songs. The lyrics are good, Solis's singing voice could use a little bit of work, but it's decent for the most part, and the visuals are amazing, especially in the climax of the song.
And when creation goes to die, you can find me in the sky upon the lost day.
I'm not gonna say this song is Disney quality, but I am gonna say it could totally fit in a Don Bluth movie. An 80s Don Bluth movie, not the crappy ones from the 90s.
And you will be okay.
You slept with an imp in our fucking bed!
It wasn't expected. I didn't have time to go to a motel.
A motel?
Okay, first of all, that's absolutely hilarious, but it's also fantastic continuity. It was set up in the pilot that Solis sleeps with imps, and it was also referenced in the first episode. I don't know why I'm telling you guys this, because I just reviewed that episode, but shut up! Man, a lot of people were telling me to check out Owl House, but I didn't think it was this literal.
You want to fuck this one too?
No, of course not.
What is this called, a Chekhov's gun moment? Well, it's nice to see that Solis's cheating came back to bite him in the ass.
So are you two done screaming for the day?
You know what I haven't done in a long, long time?
Not an imp, that's for sure.
You always were so happy when I took you to Lululand. What do you say we go there again? Have a day, just the two of us.
I'd rather kill myself.
There we go. Anything but staying in this house.
Would it be in bad taste if I made a lockdown joke right now? I think it would be. So I'm going to be the mature one and not make the joke. Wait, didn't I just technically do that?
Now, I'll arrange our security.
Security for a theme park?
Well, this is Hell Detroit with furries after all. Solis contacts the immediate murder professionals and he hires them as bodyguards. You know, being a mercenary, bodyguard, gun for hire assassin, it's all technically the same thing.
What?
Why, hello, my big-dicked Blitzy.
What? Fuck!
Dad!
Language, everyone.
Wouldn't Blitz technically have a small dick since he's an imp? I mean, on average, shorter people do have smaller dicks. You ever heard of the whole black guys have big dicks and Asians have small dicks? Well, that has more to do with their height. On average, black people are tall and Asians are short. What the fuck am I talking about?
I'll pay you.
Pay me what?
Money.
Done!
God, the new iPhone is so fragile. But in all seriousness, why did it break apart? Was that supposed to be a joke or something? I'm kind of confused. I'm just guessing the scriptwriter broke his phone while writing a script and he just thought it was funny, so he put it in.
I'm literally gonna be sick.
Oh, crumbs. I knew today would be a lot. What do you need? Antacids, ibuprofen, morphine?
That was figurative, old man.
Oh, right.
Okay, what's the opposite of a small praise? A nitpick? Well, I'm gonna nitpick here. At first, Moxie's sunglasses are below his eyes, but when the scene changes, the sunglasses are on his eyes and it doesn't match up with his movements from before.
But she said it was literal.
Syringes right next to babies? Wow, this really is Detroit.
My parents would bring me and my siblings here when they could swing it, money-wise.
Ah, yes, it's confirmed. The imps are born here and are natural residents of hell. I knew it. We also get another song.
Lululand, Lululand, everybody sing along with the Lulu band. Every boy, every girl, every woman, every man loves Lululand.
It just blows my mind how many Izzy Pop comes up with. I can't even think of a new outro song. I have to ask others to do it for me.
Okay, one game, please. Ow, strike one, little man. But I hit it.
I don't know what to tell you, buddy. The target, see?
it didn't go down.
That demon Carney who's in hell is almost as evil as real Carnies. By the way, why is this a thing? Why are there so many carnival games that are rigged? Can we make a law about this or something already?
Is that Litso my sensor spotter bear? I guess the kitties are still running away from you, huh?
The O is silent now.
Just like your audience always was when you told your lazy jokes here.
So Blitz, before he was an assassin, was a clown. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the backstory of a lot of assassins. We get an action scene between Blitz and the mechanical Harlequin. I gotta admit, when I started watching this show, I definitely didn't expect this to ever happen.
I think I'm supposed to be bodyguarded right now. That's better. Where is Blitzy? He's my knight in shining armor, not you littler ones.
Oh, now I get it. That's why he said Blitz had a big dick. He meant big dick for an imp, because he's bigger than the other imps. Huh, now I get it. We get a really touching scene between Solus and his daughter.
I'm sorry, Via. I'm sorry for everything happening right now. I know it's a lot. I should have listened.
I just want to go home. But home doesn't even feel like home anymore. You ruined it.
It turns out cheating on your partner doesn't only hurt your partner, but it hurts the children as well.
You need to understand, your mother and I felt, she's always been, I haven't been, we weren't in, I'm sorry, I don't have the words.
And we also learned that one of Solus's powers is turning people into stone. Now that we have reached the end of episode 2, I just want to say something I've been saying constantly. It's just so amazing to me that YouTube has come this far, that there's an animated show this good for free on YouTube. And I really hope that what happened to Montium doesn't suddenly happen to her, because that would be absolutely terrible. Also, I now have a Helluva Boss and Has Been Hotel playlist. Because, let's all be honest here, I'm gonna keep talking about this show.
What's that mean?
Don't talk to me. I know you're a pervert under there.
Yeah. Looney, look at you. You look downright awful. I am so proud.
Helluva Boss episode 3 is out and I'm going to review it because it's guaranteed to get me views. If you would like to see a Has Been Hotel playlist, I'll link one down below. But unfortunately, due to some financial issues, this video isn't going to be as highly edited as the last couple of Helluva Boss reviews I did. Now, if you don't like my robot voice, watch this video. If you like the robot voice, check the pinned comment for the robot voice version of this video. The episode starts with the imps in their car, playing a song on the radio that I presume is original. I'm sure it will be on the soundtrack of Helluva Boss, but I'm not going to talk about it right now. If ever. But the worst thing in hell that has ever happened happens to them. They get their parking spot stolen. Everybody who has ever done that to me deserves eternal suffering.
Oh shit! Verosica!
Litso.
I should have known you'd be here. I can smell fish for miles, which is odd because I believe the nearest ocean is 3 rings down!
Yep, in the original Dante's Inferno, there was indeed an ocean. It was the Ocean of Wrath, where those who have committed wrath in their mortal lives would spend eternity drowning and fighting with one another, sinking deeper and deeper. There has been 7 rings confirmed in the Has Been Hotel universe, which are based off, well, obviously the 7 deadly sins. Although in the pilot for Has Been Hotel, the news lady says, "What in the 9 circles?"
What in the 9 circles makes you think a single denizen of hell would give 2 shits about becoming a better person?
So 7 have been confirmed for sure, but there could be 2 more.
Oh yeah? I I'm surprised they let your fat ass out of rehab. I can see you're still a drunken whore, clutching onto that Beelzebub juice bottle like it's the last cock in hell.
Okay, I don't know what Beelzebub juice is for sure, but I believe it increases a demon's power. You'll see what I mean later in the episode. And I also believe that Beelzebub is one of the 7 lords of hell.
They let me out because I'm still famous, and rehab is for sad loser wash-ups.
I mean, she's not wrong.
So your sister says hi.
Was that a throwaway line, or will we see that Blitz has a sister later on? But I do believe it has been confirmed that he comes from a large family.
Actually, prick, it has my name on it.
What is it with whores and signing their names in weird ways? This is just like with Classy in South Park.
Hold on! You better move that pussy wagon right now, or I'm gonna...
You'll what?
Or I'll call HR.
Oh my god, that's gonna be the funniest joke in the series. In other words, it's all downhill from here.
What was sex with her like?
Billy!
What? It's a pop star. You'd want to know what sex with Michael Crawford was like.
Touche.
Does anybody else find it weird that a straight couple want to know what lesbian and gay sex is like with a celebrity? Just me? Oh, okay.
Do you think they saw me?
Fuck, I did my makeup shitty today.
Oh, you look perfect, Looney. Like always.
Shut up, Dad. Oh, Blitz.
Oh my god, Luna almost called Blitz dad. That's so adorable. But in all seriousness, in this episode, Luna acts a lot more different than she normally does. She normally acts a lot more aggressive and kind of like a bitch. But in this episode, it shows a side to her where she's shy and unconfident.
Wanna kiss you, little guy?
A kind offer, but I'm married.
Hey, why don't you send a little message from me back to your limp dick boss?
Don't touch that!
Roxy, don't let her access any of your holes!
I gotta go lie down.
Ha! It's funny when a male gets sexually assaulted. But I do feel sorry for Moxie. He should call HR.
If you're gonna be shitty to my employees, then I challenge you to a fucking challenge. Fuck, I said that twice.
Is this imp boy starting a demon duel?
I think he is. What's the game then, Blitzo?
So I bet you suck, you bitches, can't fuck as many people as we can off by the end of the day.
Okay, so there's something I need to correct that I made a mistake on. I theorized that the imps were born in hell, and that is now confirmed. But Luna is not a human, she's a species known as a hellhound, and these are succubuses, also probably a species born in hell. When someone has a unique design in hell, they're probably from the human world. But when they share a design with a lot of other monsters in hell, they are a species of demon that was born in hell. But on another note, what do the succubuses get out of this challenge? If Blitz wins, he gets his parking space back, but they get nothing out of it. I understand that Blitz is only going to get the parking space back for a week, which is pretty funny for just how petty he is, but the succubuses don't even get anything out of it.
Hey, is there a way I can come with you guys this time?
Absolutely not. I forbid it. Not gonna happen. Sorry, sweetie. Spring break is no place for young, vulnerable goth girls. You know, the kind of freaks up there who drool all over you.
Why is everybody looking at me? I'm not a furry.
I can blend in.
Do you have a human disguise?
Yeah, don't you? You 3 have been screwing around on Earth this whole fucking time without human disguises?
God, now I'm curious as to what all their human forms are going to look like. There's definitely going to be plenty of fan art for it before the episode with their human forms even comes out. Blitz uses a poorly spelled 50% off ad to get a whole bunch of customers, and almost all of his targets are at the beach during spring break. You know what? This is too convenient. The fact that all of these dead souls got screwed over by rich people who have enough money to go on spring break and have a whole bunch of... Actually, never mind, it makes perfect sense. But as they're killing off their targets, suddenly out of nowhere, the succubuses show up. And we get an original song that so far is actually my least favorite in Helluva Boss.
Your
Now if you like this song, more power to ya. Maybe I just don't like the genre or something. And maybe I was also too spoiled by Stolas' song. Oh, a few people got mad at me when I said Stolas' singing voice could use some work, because his voice actor is a Broadway singer. Just so you know, singing on Broadway and being a voice actor singer are not even close to the same thing. Just like the actor for Javert is trained in folk and rock, but his opera singing voice is pretty terrible.
And I'm Javert.
Her song helps the succubuses become studs. They already got the STD, all they need is the U. But she throws her Beelzebub juice bottle, and it lands in the water. Luna in her human form hits on the other hellhound, whose name is revealed to be Vortex.
But my friends call me Tex.
Oh yeah? I wish I had friends.
What? Luna doesn't have any friends? Huh, she must be subscribed to my channel then.
Oh, fuck, Blitz! Why can't you stay out of my face for like 5 minutes?
Because I adopted you! And that should mean something!
Oh, what does it matter? You're not my real dad. I was almost 18.
It still counts!
God, the amount of times I've said that to a police officer.
Whoa! Joke! That was a joke!
It's sad that I have to explain that, but yeah, that was a joke. Don't get your panties in a twist. During the argument with Blitz and his daughter, Moxie gets mistaken for a possum and thrown into a beer. I actually don't know what those things are called. I see them all the time, but I don't actually know what those things are called. It causes Moxie to get very drunk, and then the fish monster straight out of H.P. Lovecraft shows up.
Fish.
Okay, I was wrong. The HR joke wasn't the funniest joke in this series. Wow, Millie just took down a giant sea monster by herself. Remember in the first episode when she was knocked out by a human with a glass bottle? Maybe she just hit the gym more after that incident.
That was handled rather obvious, don't you think?
I don't think this belonged to any of us. Would be a shame if anyone found out you guys were behind a giant monster fish in the human world.
You know, we could keep this little B-movie scene on the down low if you agree to let us use that parking space.
Fine.
So just so we're clear here, all this death and destruction happened over a parking space. I say it was totally worth it. I mean, do you know how much of a pain it is to find a parking space in a big city?
Put your hands up, you sick deviants!
All right, sluts. Get ready to suck a lot of pig dick.
I'm not even gonna look at Twitter. I bet there's already tons of controversy around this scene. Given the politics of today, I can already see people with Blue Lives Matter in their bio saying, "How dare you call cops pigs?" I can already see people with BLM in their bio saying, "You could have made a statement showing the cops letting the white people go and arresting the black ones." Guys, it's a fucking cartoon about demons. It doesn't need to be political. So what do I have to say about this episode? I liked it more than the first episode, but not as much as the second episode. But I do believe the succubuses are returning. And I'm really happy this episode came out when it did, because I was working on a prediction based off the trailer, and yeah, it was extremely off. It's a good thing no one will ever see it.
I am not a possum.
Oh my god, I need a break from talking about drama. So that's why I'm doing a review of Helluva Boss episode 4. And not because I want to experience life's greatest joy of all. So in my very first review of Helluva Boss, I asked a simple question. Why would anyone hire the immediate murder professionals? If there's a demon in hell and they hate someone in the living world who they want dead, they hire the immediate murder professionals. But all that would do is send them to heaven, which is a paradise, or send them to hell with them. And once that person finds out they put a hit on them, they're probably gonna seek their revenge. And finally, at long last, the show acknowledged it.
Get your crimson asses up above and send that heartless, no-good son of a bitch to hell where he belongs!
You do know, Poopty.
Loopty!
Of course. If we do kill him, though, and he ends up down here, you will be stuck with him forever.
Oh, trust me. I'm counting on it.
And I take full credit for this. The review got hundreds of thousands of views, so the creators probably saw it, and I was the only one, as far as I'm aware, with this criticism. They even took my torturing suggestion. I mean, it would be a lot more logical if someone hired the imps to capture someone from the living world, so they could torture that person from the living world instead of killing them, either sending them to paradise, or sending them to the same hell Detroit they live in. So I'm really glad the creators of this show are acknowledging me and taking what I say to heart. But I have a few more suggestions. Number 1, have a nude scene with Luna.
Shut up, dear furry!
Okay, fine. But in all seriousness, let's get on with this review of Helluva Boss. In the Cherub song, it reveals that they're even more powerful than the imps, being able to lift a large boulder with ease. And later on in the episode, they reveal they can summon weapons out of nothing. I also really love how in the song the blood is censored and the guy getting hit by the train has Thomas the Tank Engine's face. There's a few lines from the trailer.
Guys, do you feel that?
All right! Don't panic, Moxie!
And the imps are introduced to Loopy, who recently died and already wants to hire them to kill someone in the living world. Who did he used to be in the living world along with the person he hired the imps to kill? Well, they were basically Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos.
It could have saved all 3 trillionaires. Unfortunately, we neglected to test the machine on the poor.
Same here. I forget to test my inventions on the poor all the time. Man, this show is so relatable.
But the machine was accidentally set forward. By the time we managed to get out, it was too late. At least for me.
You know, the machine would have killed both of them if it was set too young instead of old. They look like they're closer in age to babies than they are old men, and for how quickly they age, they would have de-aged even quicker. The imps travel to the human world to kill the most relatable character in the series.
Goodbye, my one true love.
He's about to kill himself, but then the cherubs show up. By the way, cherub comes from the biblical term cherubim or cherubim. I don't 100% know what a cherubim or a cherubim are, but I believe they are ranks of angels. The cherubs tried to convince the old man not to kill himself with some of the worst suggestions I've ever heard in my entire life.
Is that a serious question? He can help spread his wealth around with the people of the world and do so much good with it and be so fulfilled.
No.
Why don't poor people just buy more money, am I right, boys?
He could pay for new hospitals and schools. Why won't you let me die?
Technically, if he dies, the government will take 40% of it, which will go towards hospitals and schools, so technically he'll give it to them. Some asshole is revving his motorcycle outside. The cherubs try other techniques to get the old man to keep enjoying life, all of which backfire. And we get something that might be made into a meme, and something that will definitely be turned into porn.
Want to see whose lap you're sitting on?
Ha, hashtag cuties, I get the joke. And they got gnomed!
Hey, horny lovers, which one of you would fuck this old man?
You know, you 3 are so utterly cruel. We're just trying to give hope to someone in need.
Oh, and you 3 are so superior to us just because we want some selfish, greedy, authoritarian capitalist to keel over dead.
Wait, he's an authoritarian? All the relatability went right out the window.
How do we make these bad?
We can't. There's literally nothing bad about opera. That's fact.
Unless we ruin it somehow.
Oh, I can't decide. Should I make a joke about Moulin Rouge, or a joke about Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark? We get a fight scene between the imps and the cherubs, probably my favorite fight scene in the series, actually. And the old man finally gets a reason to live, finally understanding the true American dream.
All starting to make sense now.
Life is worth living because we only get one. We must cherish it. If creatures far beyond this living world are going through these lengths over my life, then certainly it's worth living. Killing myself is not the answer. Plus, I'm still rich. I could just buy all the things.
And we get the best joke in the episode.
Resulted in the death of a human. I'm afraid you can't re-enter heaven. Yeah, no.
Is there anything we can do?
Yeah, no. No.
Boy, Charlie sure has her work cut out for her. I mean, if angels are being rejected from heaven, then what hope do demons have? But at least this gives us a reason for the cherubs to really hate the imps now. So I guarantee you they will be showing up again. Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk are reunited in hell, and they put aside their differences and become friends. By the way, Elon Musk, if you're watching this, I actually do really like you. I'm just making a few jokes. I hate to break character, but I really want your Neuralink thing to make me into a real robot. I also have stock investments in your company. I really want to use it to get property on Mars. So that was my review of Helluva Boss Episode 4. Personally, I like it better than Episode 1 and 3, but it's still not as good as Episode 2. Personally, Visipop, if you're watching this, I feel like the odd number episode should focus on comedy, but the even number episode should focus more on heartfelt stuff. Now, one more thing I want to point out is that there was a lot of attention given to this one demon, Wacky Wally Wackaford. Ford is literally in his last name. He doesn't really fit in the episode that well, but I think we're going to see more of him in the future.
So the new episode of Helluva Boss is out! And I have Professor Dreadlock with me for once. How you doing, man?
That was a really, really good episode. I can't wait to talk about this. So, what are we going to start with?
Well, I know your favorite part was the shark.
Oh, you know that. Yeah, like the shark, the shark came at him like Incineroar and Smash, like this 3 times in a row. I think every episode they have like some ridiculous shit like that. Like the last one, when that professor got the the piano dropped on him, right? Yeah, so like this shark was that episode's piano, I guess.
My personal favorite part was when Moxie jumped on the pig and it played the heroic music like he was actually going to accomplish this, and then the knife didn't even burst through it. Like, I thought the joke was going to be this moment was all in his head, but no, it's just the knife failed to cut through the pig.
Yeah, and he came in with such, like, intense energy, too. Like, he definitely just, like, approached that pig, wrangled on top of him, not a single wasted movement, and then, like, this fizzled. And now everyone's making fun of him. Again.
Out of all the episodes, this one by far had the best and most action. Like, every episode up to this point did not have that much action, and I noticed some frame rate issues throughout the episode, and I think the purpose for that was they were trying to save on the budget for the action. What did you think of the action?
It was really good. I don't know what to say here. Yeah, shit. I mean, like... Okay, the animations were fluid, right? Because, I mean, these are, like, organic demon, like, people, and they, like, slither around when they fight and shit. Like they have, like, kind of a Wrangler brawler style and stuff. You ever seen... What was that movie with the snake? Rango! Right. Yeah, that was definitely... Like, they all fight like the snake character, except for... The snake character is actually just that dude with, like, the mustache in this show. Like, I think that's what he was based off of.
I really like that he had one gold fang. I mean, so many characters have a gold tooth, but a gold fang, I've never seen that before. I hope one day someone makes a vampire where they have, like, one of their 2 fangs is golden.
You know, I just realized.
What?
Okay, so that's a status symbol, right? That means that, like, even the underworld still has, like, this weird economic bullshit where, like, gold's, like, value is so overpriced. And it's weird because they're deeper in the earth, so you'd think... Wait, they're underground, right?
I don't think it has confirmed it yet. They could either be underground or in an alternate dimension. I think they're in an alternate dimension.
Okay, so whatever dimension you go to, there's still going to be scammers fucking pumping the price of gold no matter where you go. So buy it now, guys.
Do you think, like in heaven, it's obviously not worth anything because the streets are made of gold, so maybe that's a gold tooth from heaven.
Ooh. Yeah, good shit. There was a lot of action in that episode, like a lot. I think that's kind of the episode maybe you show people if you want to pique their interest in the series, like right away. Not too much story building, with the exception of, I guess, a little bit of character development with who's the cute little like the meek guy, what's his name?
Moxie.
Yeah, Moxie was looking like a bitch up until halfway through the show, and then he still was looking like a bitch, but he was trying.
Well, it did go over to lore a little bit, talking about holy weapons. Like, I've heard that demons can only be killed through holy weapons, and any other way doesn't work. It just temporarily kills them, and they respawn in hell somewhere with a scar on them. I believe that's what I've been told. But at the same time in this episode, they said this holy weapon can kill a demon royal, so maybe it's only royalty that can be killed through holy weapons.
So the question on my mind then is, who hired him to kill that guy exactly? Like, I think I might have missed that because I was just so into the action scenes. What was that about?
It was Stolas' wife. She's tired of her husband cheating on her. Well, not cheating on her specifically, cheating on her with an imp.
Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, shit, I'd be mad too. That's like if, your girlfriend cheats on you and then you find that it's with a manlet.
Or it could be worse. It could be EDP.
Oh my god. Oh! Out of all the episodes, the lighting and animation in this one has been the best by far.
Yeah, I really like how the characters' eyes were glowing, or how Moxie found the glowing weapon through the glow.
See, when you talk about liking how much the characters' eyes were glowing, and it takes me back to those really like edgy DeviantArt OCs, where he's like, yes, he has a scar on his face and glowing eyes and red fangs, and he turns red hot when he's angry. Don't fuck with him, like that sort of thing.
Color scheme black and red.
And purple sometimes. And his name is Shadow Edge. And it's just a reskin, a recolor of, like, Blaze the Cat or Tails or Sonic. And then you see a big "do not steal" on the character palette.
2011 was definitely a different time.
It was.
I'm glad we finally got to see Millie's parents. Obviously, they're the stereotypical Texans, and her sister appears to be trans.
Yeah, it's like, her parents are the most flat characters in that show so far, and I'm wondering if they're going to delve more into those characters more, or they're just literally, like, going to be a support caricature for the rest of the series.
I think we may only see them once per season, and that's about it.
I could see that. Maybe in the next episode they're going to be riding, like, huge cattle or something with flaming horns. That'll be pretty cool.
So there was the song, I'm Better Than You, sung by that one imp dude, and what do you think of the music in this series? Because I've already gushed about the music in all the other episodes, because Visipop, one thing I really admire about her is she makes an original song for each episode, sometimes 2 or 3.
I think the point of the whole song there was kind of to establish the dynamic between both of those guys, where this dude, he feels so fucking inferior to this guy. Like, he's a better singer, a better dancer, a better fighter. He's better at wrangling them cattle.
It was a pig, you dipshit.
Okay, well, I don't fucking know. What do you call a group of pigs in that context?
A herd of swine.
Wrangling them swine. The point is that, like, he's showing a guy up, and he's showing the guy up in front of his girl. Like, he's making him look like a little bitch.
But here's one question about him and Blitzo. Blitzo really met his match when he met him, because both him and Blitzo are pretty much the top of the food chain when it comes to imps, but they're still imps at the end of the day.
And he's got some animosity with that too. Even though he got hired to kill that King Owl dude, you know that there was a part of him, especially from that speech he gave him where he was like, yeah, fuck the demons, fuck Owl Guy, fuck his thirstiness. There was a little bit of Schadenfreude in that, right?
There is a class structure with the imps, because even Blitzo and that guy, they're ahead of all the other imps, but they're below these owl demon royalty, and they're below succubuses, they're below any other breed of demon. They're at the bottom.
Do they ever get, does the show ever show the imps just straight up getting disrespected over being imps?
Yes. I mean, Stolas' wife, she says, "You cheated on me,
oh, yeah,
you slept with an imp in a hotel like a fucking plebeian."
In a motel too. On top of that, it was probably a motel, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it's like one of those cheap. It was one of those cheap motels, like the motel where Legoshi and Haru. Oh, spoilers! Where Legoshi and Haru almost get it on. At the end of Beastars, season 1, We're gonna put a little spoiler thing there so the furries don't get mad.
No. But, like, at the best, with imps, they can become, like, small business owners, and that's about it. You don't see the imps make it any further in life than that. So what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think actually it really does. You do see a lot of where the imps are in that culture based off the choices the character made. Like, the queen's pissed off about this whole situation, but ultimately, who does she hire? An imp. And then when, you know, that imp is going to fucking slay her husband, and then the other imp tries to stop him, he immediately appeals to his impishness. And, you know, he could have done anything else, but he went there with confidence. He was talking to him like, yeah, I'm probably going to convince this dude. And he was genuinely surprised and caught off guard when his speech didn't work. And, you know, maybe...
I think it was working, though. If Motzi didn't come in, he probably would have taken the shot, because and I think this is setting up for another plot later on, because the imps are just so sick and tired of being on the bottom of the food chain.
Shit, exactly, you're right. So it's like, think about, you know, that confidence, that assuredness that, yes, I just have to say it. Like, he made that speech with the confidence of someone who had made that speech before, many times before, and it had worked.
Did you steal that from The Expanse?
No.
Yes, you did, you fucking hack. I really like that Millie's sister, Sally Main, she's named after a fucking loan company, student loan company.
Yeah, like, I feel like there's so many college students who they heard the sister's name get called out and they kind of winced because they remember they had a payment due the next month. And they were like, shit.
Poor people.
$400 of interest? Wow, I hope my computer science degree was worth it. Okay, looking back, I just realized Stryker was flirting with his wife from, like, the first scene he was introduced. Like, the second he gets off his high horse.
And she was getting flabbergasted as
well. She was reacting, like, kind of sus. Like he doesn't waste a single frame. Like, frame, he's standing on the ground. Next frame, well, hello there, little lady.
And she was like, you...
Yeah, she was like...
There's even some foreshadowing earlier on in the episode where Stryker tells Butso, hey, you're an imp who started his own business? That's pretty impressive. Most imps don't do that.
You know, I guess the assumption there is most imps probably don't do that from lack of interest. There's probably some socioeconomic barriers to imps being able to do that. Like, he was genuinely surprised. He pointed that out. That was the second interaction he had after flirting with, what's his name's wife, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so, like, that's how much it was on his mind.
Luna didn't do shit in this episode.
She literally just walked in like, hey, what's for dinner? And then the guy was like, wow, I'm really outnumbered. I'm gonna leave. Did she even notice he was there?
She was more of a hindrance than a help, and I don't think she did.
Yeah, I think she just walked in and was like more like focused on how am I gonna bitch at my father? And then, hey, who's that?
So what did you guys think of this review? Did you like this new reviewing style better? And if this video does really well, maybe me and my roommate will do a review of the first season of Invincible. But if you want to see more reviews on Helluva Boss and Has Been Hotel, I have a Helluva Boss / Has Been Hotel playlist that you definitely should go check out.
Helluva Boss has certainly come a long way, hasn't it? It started off as a pilot that was very similar to the style of The Office. It was a bit too fast and unfocused for some people and they complained. But luckily, the first episode fixed a lot of that and actually had a focused story. They also switched out Millie's voice actress, which some people liked, some people didn't like, but I thought I might as well mention it so you guys don't tell me it in the comments section. Episode 2 seems to be everyone's favorite so far, although starting off too strong can make the other episodes that come after feel a bit underwhelming. I guess I should also mention that the Harlequin clown is voiced by the Beetlejuice guy. I mean, I flashed up a picture of him in my review and people still told me that he was voiced by the Beetlejuice guy in the comments section. Episode 3 was also good, but episode 4 was a bit rocky. Don't get me wrong, it was absolutely hilarious, but it had several flaws with it. Like, why didn't the imps just kill their target instead of trying to get him to kill himself? If the machine could reverse their age, then why didn't they use it? But it also showed that the human world wasn't just a place for the imps to just go to and get free kills. Humans appear to have technology that could be a threat to either heaven or hell. Which of course is a great idea if the human world was just a place that the imps would just go to, kill someone and come back. The show would get quite boring and stale really fast. Episode 5, the last episode to come out before this one I'm reviewing now, which came out, hang on a second, let me check. Over 3 months ago! Episode 5 had some of the best animation, and it seems to be everyone's second favorite episode, just behind episode 2. I know a lot of people like episode 2, but if you took out the scene with Solus and his daughter, episode 5 is just about better in every way. In my personal opinion, episode 5 has also had so far the best action scene, and it added to the lore by explaining what holy weapons actually do. The best way I can describe episode 6 is, it kind of feels like a combination of the last 5 episodes, and I'll explain that throughout my review. The episode starts off as a literal combination of the first 5 episodes, where Agent 1 and Agent 2 have collected video footage of the imps. But they have a lot of video footage of the imps that they couldn't possibly get, because there's no way they could have gotten certain camera angles. Were they given this video footage by the cherubs? Or were the animators just reusing footage from previous episodes because they have a limited amount on their budget? I'll let you decide. Now, this is obviously a callback to episode 3, where Luna said they had to go to Earth with human disguises, not without them. Because if they didn't do that, well, they could end up in a situation like the one in this episode.
You fucking idiot.
But this does raise a question. Is the public aware of demons, or do only certain government groups know about them? If the pilot is canon, then people do know about demons because they were on the fucking nose. You know what, with how much people distrust news organizations now, it wouldn't be surprised me if the humans saw the demons on the news and still didn't believe they were real. The secret agents conveniently discover the immediate murder professionals.
Oh, well, that's convenient.
Already said that.
Blitz pokes Moxie while there's a water balloon stuck to his finger. Yes, it's a water balloon, and it can't possibly be anything else.
I'd like to see the suits that corporate corners loses now. That was pretty badass.
Super badass.
Yes, it was very badass of you two to take them out with guns. You don't need to do anything else badass, especially if it does not involve guns.
They aren't here! It smells like they went this way.
I got something else for you to sniff, Luna. Blitz and Moxie are being interrogated by government agents, and Moxie makes a joke food order very similar to the ones my roommate Professor Dreadlock always makes when we're in a hurry.
I'll have a Neapolitan cappuccino, more cappuccino. Make sure it's got no more than 4 ounces of milk. The beans won't have the right texture otherwise. And make sure they spell my name correctly on the cup. 2 blonde shots, half of that. If you can't handle that, I'll have a venti traditional misto. Please use soy milk with 2 blonde shots, half of that, and ristretto. You've had us tied here for what, hours? And you haven't even had us confirm what exactly we are.
What are you?
I'm a Virgo.
Pah! That one's hilarious. I gotta use it sometime. My star sign is a Sagittarius, by the way. Luna and Millie break into the secret agent headquarters, and they have a fight scene that really reminds me of Bunny Kills. Does anybody remember that?
Damn, you're pretty agile for an old lady.
I'm like 5 years older than you.
Oh, so now we know that Millie is in her early to mid-20s. Neat. That means porn of her is 100% okay. She still looks like a lolly, though.
You know, that's just like, your opinion, man.
Does Millie ever peg you?
Sometimes. Wait! Ew! Fuck! Why that?
Oh, that's great. A joke and a callback to a previous episode. I'm glad they're keeping continuity.
She totally pegs you, doesn't she? I knew it.
The secret agents drug them with truth serum and they both start tripping balls. They fit the song sequence into the illusion, which is always a good idea. It leads to some nice visuals, and damn does this animation look good. Did they hire a different animation studio? This looks like it's way above their average quality. For some reason in Blitz's drug trip, Moxie has an upper-class British accent.
I simply follow your orders. It isn't my fault if your orders are as nonsensical as a sun cannon bed. left out on the cold rainy boat of a fresh April shower.
Why are you talking like that? What the fuck does that even mean?
And he's in drag again, just like in episode 4. I really like the slow moments between the characters. It's easy to write characters just swearing and making jokes, but emotional moments are some of the hardest things to write. And it's followed by a really awesome badass action sequence. And if you're wondering why the secret agents are using melee weapons instead of guns, fuck you, that's why. I think my favorite part is when Millie chops off this guy's arms and legs and he's still in the background flopping around. And this action scene really explains why the episode was several months late. The agents lose and they lock up the building. Luckily, the immediate murder professionals have a book that can teleport them.
Shit, I can't read the spell in this light. I can't see dick.
Damn it, Looney, you don't have the spell memorized? That was your one job. But luckily, Stolas comes in and saves them. Apparently, he can teleport to the human world without the book. Maybe he actually memorized the spell. And just like with the cherubs in episode 4, the secret agents seem like they're going to return. Overall, this episode was certainly one of the better ones. I liked it better than episode 4 and 3. Hell, this might be my favorite episode so far. I definitely put it up there with episode 2 and 5. Just like episode 5, it had some great action scenes and animation. Just like in episode 4, they introduced a new villain who's going to be returning later. And this episode basically had callbacks to the last 5 episodes. If this show was from a big studio, it wouldn't be that important. But the fact that this show was started by a YouTuber is just amazing. I hope more and more YouTubers start making their own TV shows. That way we'll actually be taken seriously by the mainstream. This show even manages to have panning shots. Do you know how hard that is to do in non-3D animation? I'm even trying to get my own animated show off the ground, Fast Fictional Fights, which you guys should definitely check out. But now that we know that Stolas can show up anytime to save the imps, it causes some problems. Mainly because now we know that the imps are never in any real danger because Stolas can just save them. And judging from the season 1 trailer, there is at least going to be one more episode focused on Stolas. I think Stolas might die in the next episode.
You heartless monster.
If my prediction does come true, I just want to say, I totally called it. If they kill him off, that means he won't be able to show up to save them whenever. My prediction is that Stolas is going to be killed by Stryker. But now that Stolas' wife got revenge on her husband, she'll come after Blitz next.
I know I'm a little late to this episode of Helluva Boss, and I do apologize for that. I have been dealing with a lot of drama that has made this review take longer to come out. It unfortunately was about something that I could just not ignore, because it was about grooming accusations. Yep, but now I just really need to take a break from drama. I want to talk about my favorite online show, Helluva Boss. I have reviewed every episode before this one, except for the last one to come out because it seemed like it was going to be a 2-parter, but the second one still isn't out. But when it is, I'll get to reviewing it faster than Joe Biden heading to a children's barber shop. The last episode not being out yet has hurt me more than anyone else. Some of you might say,
"What's going on with you? What are you talking about?"
Oh, come on, Jar. This is Visipop's baby. How much more do you think she was hurt by it not coming out due to legal trouble? Do you know how much she must hate that?
What in fuck's name are you doing?
Hate. Let me tell you about hate. The hate she is feeling is not equal to 1/1 billionth of the hate I feel for this episode not being out. In this micro instant I feel right now. But to be honest, I am really sorry that Visipop had to deal with all of that legal bullshit. Unlike all of the other Helluva Boss reviews I have done, this one will be scripted, because I'm using one of those now. Now, one thing that really shocked me is that some people loved this episode more than any others before it, but some people really hated this episode even more than the Cherub one. So, where will I stand on it? Is it good, bad, or a little bit of both? This episode is mostly a flashback about how Blitzo and Stolas used to be childhood friends. The O in Blitzo's name may be silent now, but it wasn't always like that. The flashback starts on Stolas' birthday, and he is about to get his purpose in life from his father, voiced by Jonathan Freeman? Some of you might know him as the voice of Jafar from Disney's Aladdin. And if any of you say in the comments, by the way, Guilford Godfrey was the one who voiced the parrot, yes, I know, everyone knows that.
I'm pissing and shitting and coming.
Holy shit, I better calm down before I blow out my microphone. We now know his purpose is to study the stars of the living world to make future predictions. I mean, I know we got hints to this, but we didn't know for sure. He also gets engaged to Stella, who seems to have always been a bit of a bitch. Also, we get this lovely meme of Kid Stolas crying. So this is one of the many problems people have with this episode. For the longest time, people thought Stella and Stolas' marriage was falling apart, as we saw in the flashback of episode 2, and then later Stolas cucked his own wife due to no longer being in love with her. And to that, I have to say it's false. That was never canon. It was a fan theory at best. Nothing was actually retconned. Trust me, I thought that was the case myself, but nothing 100% ever confirmed that. Also, it's made clear in episode 2 that she didn't give a shit that he cheated on her. Her only problem was that he cheated on her with an imp. It's about status to her, not loyalty. With this new knowledge, rewatch the old episodes and tell me if you can point out how this conflicts with past episodes. Stolas' father takes his son to the circus. In episode 2, Stolas would do the same with his own daughter. But unlike his father, he showed up instead of staying home as if the lockdowns were still in place. And just like in my episode 2 review of Helluva Boss, I also made a lockdown joke. The circus act does show off some pretty good animation. Also, I think we see Blitz's sister on the tightrope, or at least someone who looks a lot like her. Also, we find out that Blitzo and Fizzeroli are brothers? Yeah, most people thought this would be the case already, but now we know it's true 100%. Blitzo fails at making a balloon horse, and for some reason he makes a joke, but other than Stolas, no one else laughs. But Fizzeroli makes a good balloon horse and doesn't make a joke, which almost everyone laughs at. I'm a little lost. Stolas' father notices that his son really likes Blitzo, so he tells Blitzo's father if he can buy him. Knowing that this is hell, I think if I was a father and someone asked to buy my son, I would immediately think they wanted him for EDP type shit.
What's up, baby?
For some reason, Blitzo's dad is willing to sell his son for only $5 and a condom.
What the fuck?
Now, you may think this is done as a joke to show how bad of a father he is, but later on he asked his son to steal things so he could make a ton of money. So, wouldn't it make sense for him to ask for more money and also have his son steal a bunch of shit? Stolas' father blew up half the tent. I think that's a little more than $5 and a condom. So here is where we get into the next problem people have with this episode, and that's Blitzo's hesitation to steal. Some people said that this is not how people in this world, that world being hell, should act, especially from what we have seen so far. Was Blitzo actually born a good person, but just became bad because of society? Here's the problem I have with that point. Blitzo makes it clear 2 times that he's scared of getting caught, not that stealing is morally bad.
Steal? But if I get caught?
Why is murder illegal? Because people don't want to die. Even in a world where people have no problem with killing, it would still be a crime. Same with stealing and a whole bunch of other things. The Dire Gentleman, a self-proclaimed professional writer, aka PK Russell 2.0, made this point, and people were pretty quick to call him out in the comments for it. Honestly, I was thinking about going over his video instead of reviewing this episode, but I don't want to deal with any more drama this month. So Blitzo hangs out with Stolas, and a lot of people also had a problem with this as well. To me, them being childhood friends is whatever. Stolas and Blitzo had to meet before they fought fucked at some point. And if it wasn't this, it would have been something else. Sure, it might have been better if they did something different than this, but I'm cool with this nonetheless. Oh yeah, some people also have a problem with Blitzo being into pirates, when that wasn't hinted at until now, but he's only pretending to be a pirate so he can steal shit. Also, me hearties, I was into pirates when I was a kid.
That's some sort of spyglass?
But not so much anymore. But here's one problem that I actually do have with this episode. Blitzo steals like a lot of expensive stuff and nothing happens to him. Like when it's Stolas' dad put 2 and 2 together, a bunch of my stuff is gone, and I just had that imp boy hanging out with my son. Coincidence? I think not. Hell, wouldn't Stolas put 2 and 2 together as he grew up? Blitzo and Stolas later meet again 25 years later, right before the pilot episode starts. Stolas, in his unhappy marriage, is at first hitting on Blitzo, but when Blitzo starts being a little bit too forward with him, he's taken back at first. Some people say this makes Stolas inconsistent, but he was in a loveless marriage and he was pretty drunk. He didn't expect things to move so fast. Blitz just wanted the book, and he did whatever it took to get it. But he also didn't want to leave his old friend high and dry. Literally. Oh my god, Blitz is also the one who committed the— Yeah, I know a ton of people have made this joke already like Katuchi, but I swear, if it wasn't for the grooming allegations I had to deal with, I would have made it first. I really like how a throwaway joke in the pilot has turned into a triumphant moment for Stolas. We finally cut back to the present times, and unfortunately Stolas' happy pills can no longer make him joyful. He sings a song and some people think it's about his wife Stella, but it's actually about Blitz. That being said, I don't like Stolas' voice actor singing voice. Yes, I know he's a Broadway singer, but just because you're good at singing in Broadway doesn't mean you're good at singing in a recording booth. Believe it or not, Russell Crowe is actually a pretty good singer, but when he was singing in Les Miserables, his singing voice was, let's be nice and say it was less than adequate. That being said, I can tell he's putting his heart and soul into this song. It's kind of like how the voice actor for Quasimodo doesn't have the best singing voice, but he really put his all into it. This episode ends with a few more scenes of Stolas and his wife, and we get even more proof that Stella is a complete bitch. We also get new information that Stella has a brother. From what I have researched, he's basically the opposite of Stolas, very arrogant. So that was the first episode of Season 2 of Helluva Boss. What did I think? Well, I think the season is off to a great start. Yeah, of course this series is not perfect, but I personally think that a lot of the critics of it are very nitpicky. I just think we all need to be aware that this is a free YouTube show, not something you get on a streaming service like Hulu, Netflix, or Disney+. You get what you paid for, and for what it's worth, I think this show is worth every penny I spend on it. And those pennies being 2 or 3 that I spend on my electric bill to watch this. If you enjoyed this review, I have a whole Helluva Boss and Has Been Hotel playlist that I'll link down below. And if you enjoyed the editing of this video, my editor just made a video about tier list, so you guys should totally check it out. Anyways, I think this is going to be my last solo episode review of Helluva Boss. From here on out, I think I'm going to review 2 or 3 episodes all at once.